This is PBA champion Kyle Troop, and you're listening to Straight Up 5 with Johnny Petraglia Jr. As you know, JP Jr. used to be introduced as the sexiest man in bowling, and now the world. But he doesn't have the best hair in the world. I do. Sorry, bud, but you know the deal. Pick it out. Fear the fro, baby.
Welcome to Straight Up 5 with Johnny Petraglia Jr. A hard-hitting, in-depth, cutting-edge look into the world of bowling. This podcast will not only cover all things bowling, but will also give you a raw look into real-life issues. You'll get unfettered access into the mind of one of the most gifted bowlers of this or any other generation. So without further ado, let's introduce you to the hosts of the show. Rad Rob Francois. Dr. Ocho. And the incomparable Johnny Petraglia Jr.
Hey guys, welcome back to Straight Up 5 with Johnny Petraglia Jr. I am your host, Rad Rob Francois. This is episode number 98. We are 2 episodes away from the big 100, which should have happened about 2 months ago, but yeah, it is what it is. Welcome everyone to the chat. Sorry we are late. Sorry, as they would say in the Great White North. Wait, can we even say that anymore? Is that racist? Up in Canada, blame Canada. John Ping, what's up? Ricky Smith, Nico, what's going on? Emerald Sin, welcome everybody. Brett Loringer's here. Pete Cow, what's up everybody? Welcome to the show. We got a lot to talk about this week, and I don't really want to talk about any of it because my voice, my throat kind of hurts, and I don't want to get into a coughing fit. So I'm going to lay back a lot this week and let the boys kind of handle the show as I just throw in my unfunny quibs here and there. But first, let's introduce the man with the golden mask. He is the resident doctor of Straight Up 5. He is the house hack. He's the captain of the big red wiffle ball team. Wiffle bat. See, I fucked it up. All right, good night, everybody. That was a good show. We'll see you next week for episode 99. Have a good week, guys. See you next week. Take care. All right, fine. Dr. Ocho. What happened to your arms? They look smaller.
I started at like 8 o'clock, so I'm kind of cramping. Let me try and muster up something.
There we go. There we go. I love it. And you're in the dark again.
Always in the dark. Ocho. Nobody puts Ocho in the dark except for Ocho.
So obviously Johnny is not with you this week.
Who says that? And you know, when you in the intro, you say he's so gifted. What if the guy just works hard? Like, do we just diminish the fact that he worked his ass off to be that good of a bowler?
He
like,
doesn't.
You're so gifted. You didn't do shit. You did nothing. You just took your thumb out of the ball, and all of a sudden, yippee yay! So
he doesn't practice.
He needs to. So neither does Ocho, and I'm carrying a lower average than everybody.
He doesn't practice, so he is gifted to be as good as he is.
He's gifted as far as his looks are. I mean, that's not. He didn't do anything about that. He just got hatched.
He's a very pretty man. Yes,
he basically got hatched, and it was like, okay, let's make him a 9.4.
And the reason he is so pretty is because of good genes, but also because of his.
He wears good jeans. He does wear good jeans.
He does. Check out Georgie Shore for badass haircuts. Sweetblends.com. That's blends with a Z.
And check out Ocho for Twin Peaks.
Twin Peaks. You ever been there? Actually,
it's every night.
No, really, it's a chain restaurant.
No, I've never been. It was a dirty movie in the early 90s, which I loved also.
Well, the restaurant isn't far off from the movie. There's they put Hooters to shame. Let's just say that.
Good. Didn't you say you didn't want to talk?
I did say that, didn't I?
Yeah, maybe. I'm just saying. I'm a student of the game.
I'm always further a-doing when I need to do less, which is what I'm going to do is do less tonight.
Just don't.
That's true. Good evening, Brian Hara. Good evening. The Bear is here. What's up, Bear? All right, let's bring in the man with the name of the marquee. He is the number 1 sexiest, literally the sexiest man in the world. It is Mr. Johnny Petraglia Jr. What up, JP? Sorry for the delay in bringing you in here.
That's all right. I was actually enjoying every minute of it.
Good. I'm glad I entertained you.
And Happy New Year to you all. Happy 2024.
Yeah, it sucks so far because I'm still sick. But
Rob, you've been sick since 1996. Like, I guess just deal with it. I mean, hey, Happy New Year. Well, man, 97 is going to be a better year. Maybe I'll have a week of not coughing my balls off.
don't make me cough. Don't make me cough. You don't make me laugh. All right.
I mean, in your defense, there's a lot of people sick right now. There's something nasty going around. My poor
Yeah, bro. It sucks. Like, I felt like 2023 was just a revolving door of sickness.
You're patient zero, probably. That's the problem.
Fuck off, dude. My kid, you know, well, your kid hasn't been out into preschool or anything.
Yeah, listen, I'm around some nasty folk. I'm around some nasty folk. It boosted my immune system. I've actually eradicated STDs because of how nasty I am.
Yeah, just drink a 2-liter Mountain Dew. You'll be fine.
That's true. Don't drink the Mountain Don't. They're the bad ones.
Right, so make sure you do the do.
Okay. I will definitely do the zero sugar do, by the way. I can't do the sugar shit anymore. Nick D. Ambrosio is in the house. Kucharski's in the house as well. Good evening, everybody.
Nick whooped our ass a couple weeks ago, actually.
You know,
literally or figuratively?
Nick throws a strike in the 9th and then 3 strikes in the 10th every single time. It's every single time. He gets 60 pins in the 9th and 10th. I don't even know if that's 60, but it's close to it.
It is on the score sheet. You're right.
Cries Ocho.
So no, the dude is just he could have a. He doesn't. I don't mean it like this. He could have a freaking 108, and he's going to strike in the 9th and put 3 on in the 10th, and just like that. Like that's how you turn it up.
Yeah, there's some bowlers that are closers, and there's some bowlers that are coasters. You know, it's just like a baseball lineup. You know, you put your guys that get on base and you lead off your 2 holes. You put your power.
Right. You got to put starting with. But he's not wrong by that other comment he just posted. FY me.
That was actually where I wanted to start the show because I have some insider knowledge here about Ocho.
What?
Based off
who did you talk to?
That's impossible.
Well, the insider knowledge is I spoke to Ocho directly via text. And
him.
That guy.
Recent league nights, you know, to bring in 2024, I'd like to have Ocho share his story about his most recent trip to the bowling center.
I mean, the story is I walked in the same as I always do. I tripped over the front door because I tried to carry my bag in and the wheel tote at the same time. Probably hacked rain in, so I made the approaches all sloppy. And no, I lucked out. I'll be honest with you. They had a lesson going on our lane, and then the little gimmick machine comes out and starts putting the oil on again. And I was like, well, that's kind of weird. Don't they usually do this a little bit ago? And now it's in my head like, oh man, we're gonna have to adjust for this. My shot was just wide open. No, I don't want to say wide open. You had to make the shot. Nick bowled on the same lanes, and he crushed it too. He bowled awesome. But it was well, let's see. They played differently because the lesson was only on one lane. So that's the fun part when you kind of have to play the lanes differently. So I was 2 boards left on the 13th lane, 2 boards to the right on the 14th. 256.
The 13th and 14th lanes.
Correct. That would be that. Did I get it right at least?
I hold on the 7th and 8th.
Did I get it right though? Because I've said like the 14th and 15th lanes, which I think is wrong.
No, the fact that you're calling the lanes the 13th and 14th is what's funny. But yes, a pair the
lanes 13 and 14. I had my spiel on, which is also why I'm
going back to your wonderful league night on the 13th and 14th lanes. Continue.
No, so I got lined up. It's a matter of, I mean, everybody knows when you get lined up, Johnny, you bowled in that tournament and you were just unconscious. You repeated shots. And, where we bowl, they do have the speed, whether it's accurate or not. It's not, I don't mean that. I don't mean like that. I mean, it's not accurate to where the speed is measured, but it's accurate where even where it is measured, it'll tell you the same speed every time. So it will be accurate. It won't be the same. It won't be the actual speed though, because it measures it too far up the lane from what I remember Johnny saying at one point. if I kept my speed between like a half a mile per hour, I was in the pocket. And I just kind of bring my arm up straight. So I had to, move to the right on the 14th lane. 256, not a bad game. 278 because I missed a 10 pin, my 8th 10 pin of the year that I missed on the fill ball.
You had an 11 strike 270?
No, I don't know. Did I?
Jesus.
Well, I mean, if you said you missed the spare in the 270.
No. I missed on the fill ball. It was a ring and 10, and then it would have been a 279. So what did
I thought you went like 9 out, all of them.
Oh, that would have worked, huh?
Yep.
Oh, drat. No, and that's my 8th 10 pin that I've missed this year. And then I chased it a little bit because I started wedging the ball in up tight, like super tight on the 14th lane, as we like to say. And that was the tighter lane. And I said, you know what? Maybe I just got to move to the left a teensy bit to get ahead of it. And good old John L. said, I agree with that. That last ball you threw, yeah, it was high flush, but it could have been a 4-pin. Oh, man. Were we both wrong? Left a 2-8, and then I tried it again, thinking maybe I didn't get out of it right, and then I left a 2-pin. And then I went back to the right and, threw a few more strikes, and we finished with a 225. It was a 759. I'll take it. It is Ocho's best series ever, but that's because I'm a professional, and professionals can do that stuff every once in a while. That's a joke. I'm not a professional. 759, no.
I'm still
very nice.
I'm still confused that you only throw it a half mile an hour. Are you bowling bumpers?
In between a half a mile an hour difference, you mother grabber.
Oh, that makes
everybody else knew what I meant except for the freaking
that was
chump.
genius.
That makes more sense.
Yeah. And he gave him the Brady Bunch thumbs up.
High five.
I did. You saw me? You saw me do it?
High five.
Of course.
High five, Johnny. Thank you.
It's actually a low 5 for you.
Roger Meany, what's up, brother? No, congratulations.
Greasy 5 is what it is.
Congratulations, Ocho. I'm
Thanks,
happy
man.
for you.
I didn't text you because you're usually a douche.
That's true. No, that's true. Well, you don't text me anyway.
That's the other thing, because you're usually a douche.
Speaking of New Year's, how was everybody's New Year's aside from you being on your deathbed again, Rad Rob? I'm proud to say that I spent my 39-year-old ass with my dog sitting watching football and playing online casinos with my buddy at the house and then worked at 10. But actually got to watch the Times Square ball drop on television for the first time in a decade. So that was
awesome. No,
got to watch it, or you usually are too smacked up, or how's that working?
No, like usually the live show is not. It's not the same, and I mean,
you're a Vegas guy. Son of a bee stick, right? I mean, Dad's calling you Happy New Year, and you're like, "Fuck off, it's 9."
Right. Exactly.
Oh shit!
So I can't
Right on. Welcome back.
It was cool to watch the ball drop on the East Coast again.
Good thing you didn't live in England.
Or Australia, right? Would have happened the day before.
They start like 12 hours prior.
They do.
That's what I had to that was my issue with Y2K.
Yes.
And I was like, shouldn't Australia have blown up by now and like sunk into the freaking the bottom of the freaking Indian Ocean or whatever the fuck?
That's true, because they were showing like all around the world just in case.
Every time. Happened. I remember Paris having the Eiffel Tower thing, and I was like, is that supposed to happen, or is this shit really gonna blow up? Because we got plenty of freaking warning now.
There's actually a good, I think it's on Netflix. There's a Y2K thing that just came out about the computer that was supposedly predicted everything. So check that out. I believe it's on Netflix.
Rob, I think that computer gave you the virus that makes you sick all the time.
That's a good point.
I second that.
So casually. Like I'm a jerk about it, and he's just so subtle.
I feel like I just heard Jed laugh.
She did. She's in the background.
Yeah. It's fantastic. We should.
It sounded like you just said "gentastic."
I can't help it. It's gentastic.
Liberty bibbity.
I know you guys are big sports fans. I'd actually like your opinion on if Florida State should actually fielded a good team or not, and if they're being just crybaby bitches. Johnny, I'll start with you.
Oh, you're referencing the 63-3 route
because they sat
more
there.
than that? Wasn't it 60? Was it 63 or was it even more? I'm not even sure.
It was 63-3.
It was okay. All right, so
I don't know. I don't know enough about college football. All I kept hearing was they benched like 11 of their starters.
They did.
For what reason was it again?
They were pissed off that they didn't make.
They were protesting not making the playoff.
The playoffs, yeah.
Playoffs?
Oh,
yeah. So they were being bitches.
Oh, and that is so. I didn't know that.
I think they did it because Georgia would have crushed them regardless. Georgia would have smoked them.
They probably would. But no, Johnny, they sat their players because they were pissed off they didn't make the playoff selection, and they were just going to complain about it. While Georgia was professional as always, went out there and played it because it is a bowl game. It is on national television, and that's what you do. You play the fucking game. Well, all right, what would you think if you were a scout? If you're an NFL scout and you're like, these guys aren't going to fucking so for some of these guys, it's their last fucking college game.
So here's the thing:
not something any normal coach would even want to endure yet.
I got a feeling that maybe they were doing the protest, but because they knew Georgia was going to bury him, because Florida State has a couple guys that can go pro soon. I mean, maybe they were just like, you know what? Let's sit this one out. This is against a big dog. I don't want to get beat the shit out of. And maybe this is just it's like not being when you're a 6-5 team and not playing in the freaking the Tiny Bowl Man Bowl or something like that.
Johnny, let me give you a little bit of context.
I have enough context to tell you right now that I don't really care what the situation is.
I don't either. But
they were in a bowl game. I mean, nobody ever plays to make it to the AFC Championship game and then throws it.
And they were top 5 team. I mean, that's the other thing.
I mean, nobody throws a bowl game. It's still money for the school. It's money for the program.
Right.
It's still somewhat prestigious to win a bowl. But if you start allowing teams to say, well, we're not going to play the game because we don't like what you have to say, the way that half of this fucking world operates now, whereas if somebody bitches about something, you have to cater to it. If you start doing that, football is going to become a fucking joke, just like half the other shit in this country right now.
Right.
To me, it's absolutely grotesque to have somebody who's a college kid, let's say a senior in his last game ever, he's going to enter the draft next year, and it will always be remembered as the kid or the guy that was a member of the 11 that sat in protest because they were upset with the ranking system.
Right.
Did they officially announce it that's why they sat, or were they just like, oh, we're injured? Did they do that?
No, they complained for 3 straight days.
No, we saw that. I saw that, but I don't know that they maybe someone. I'm not sure.
Georgia was in the same position. They went from number 1 to
out of the fucking. I know it.
Out of the top 5 for 1 loss to Alabama.
No, but my point is but they think we're stupid, is what it is. They were like they were gonna. They're not going, we're protesting. They're going, oh, I got a bum knee out of nowhere, basically. So I'm going to sit this one out.
And I'm not doubting that the polls were a little bit skewy. And I'm looking at Chad's comment because he's exactly right. And by the way, good luck at team trials, Chad. That was one of our topics for later on in the show. But yeah, I totally think that Florida State did get snubbed. I mean, again, I don't know enough about it. I don't know strength of schedule. I don't know the difference in the power rankings or any depth like a lot of sports guys do. So anybody here wants to chime in, obviously, we know Roger's got a lot of knowledge on it. But where the hell was I even going with that?
I don't know.
Power rankings and Power Rangers and Popeyes.
It was just basically trying to get at the point that I don't necessarily agree with the fact that they didn't make it to the football playoff. So I do understand that also. Jim, no, I'm in my sister's bedroom at mom and dad's house down there for my weekly.
It looks like a hotel room, dude. Seriously, it looks like you're in the suite of the hotel room.
This is my sister's old bedroom. She actually hand drew that thing on the wall, the bowling ball and the pin and the shoe.
Is that what that is?
Yeah.
I thought it was a chick laying next to a lamp.
You've known Johnny and Johnny's dad for how long? You never been to his house?
I'm sure if he has, he's never been in my sister's room, Rob.
How do you know?
Well, let's just say, no, that's terrible. Don't you do that. That's stupid.
Easy.
What the hell's wrong with you people?
Cripes.
I'm glad you're back in Jersey. And so's Pico.
Thanks, guys.
Do anything.
10 inches in Clark Summit, Pennsylvania in the next week.
What's up with Mike Val? Is he living in Florida? Like every weekend he posts like
This isn't a Mike Val podcast.
No, I mean every weekend he posts like he's in Jersey, but I thought he moved to Florida.
I don't keep tabs on him that much. You'd have to ask him.
I thought you guys were tight.
I know that with him being in Florida, that I know he travels home at least once a month because his daughter's here.
That's true.
And I do see him randomly when he's here, but other than that, no, I haven't changed his diapers in quite some time.
Okay.
It wasn't your turn to watch him.
Maybe I'll text him later.
I like the random bumping into him, like at the Walgreens. Like, hey, Mike, good to see you. See you later, pal.
All right. I'm stalling because I haven't done any research this week, but apparently we got a lot of stuff going on. We got the RPIs going on, which Mr. Clark is at. That's why he can't be here this week. We also have the Team USA trials. So, Johnny, have you been following any of that this week?
No,
good.
I haven't. Good. I was
okay.
Definitely deep into the holidays and the new year, and the only thing I'm kind of upset about is I am used to being in Vegas when all this is going on. So
that's true.
I have a lot of friends that are in Vegas right now, and me not being there, I have a little bit of depression over it.
Is this besides the winter? Is this your first angst of like, man, kind of wish I was back over there? Because I know, the winter ain't treating you too well because you're used to perfect weather every freaking day of the year.
That's a good point. Are you missing Vegas this time of year, Johnny?
Yes and no. Obviously, Vegas just became home over the last decade, but I do miss it. But in the same respect, I kind of like the smell of snow again, and I like the changing of the seasons.
That's what makes you appreciate the damn warmer weather.
Yeah.
Christ.
Yeah. And, it's the bugs haven't been that bad. So everything's okay here. And everything's even more okay because Evelyn's back here now. So
that's true. And there's no fucking tree frogs.
My life is enriched. I wish.
And he didn't post this, but she now hits the cutoff man. It was like official. Like she totally hits the cutoff man.
Thank you.
Changing of seasons is why Meanie left Jersey. That's yeah. That's a good point. I miss the snow.
He wanted all winter? That doesn't make any sense.
I guess. I miss the snow. We don't get it here in Tennessee very often. But when we do, my daughter loves it. She goes crazy. She goes out and fucking plays all day. But we get more ice here than we do snow, which sucks. And they don't know how to prepare the roads because they have no budget.
There's no plows down there. There's not even salt for crying out loud. If it snows there or even has an ice thing, it's freaking it's a 4-week shutdown. Which means Popeyes is closed, and then you're like, oh my god.
We're not Georgia. It's not that bad. We have salt.
I was literally referring to Georgia. That's because that's where I lived for a while.
Literally, Georgia does shut down for a week. They do. It's true. I've seen it. Let's go over we get the senior RPI. Is that what's going on here, Johnny?
Yeah, you got the regular regional players invitational and the senior RPI going on congruently, and along with Team USA trials going on right down the road at the Gold Cup.
Congruently. Good job with congruently.
And aren't I a senior? Can I get in these tours? Why was my invite, man? Because I qualify.
No, you're a junior. No, you're not a senior yet.
I'm a DR and a senior.
That's a good point. Nate Garcia, friend of the show, he is actually in the RPI this week. He was. I like their channel, Nate and Lease, because they actually live stream all the tournaments that they're in. So if you guys ever want to see what goes on in a tournament, yeah, it's a fun watch actually. What's Chuck Ritchie does it a lot too. Voice of Bull TV, friend of the show as well. We have a lot of friends on the show, but I don't have any actual friends in real life. Let's figure that one out.
100% factual.
Thanks, Ouch.
That's nice.
Yeah, I mean, we're truthful. Remember, we're unfettered, man. Like we do cutting edge stuff.
Let's go over the top 12 after 6 games. It's still early on. We got Dan Knowlton leading.
This is the senior RPI list.
Yes, the senior. Yes.
I would qualify then.
Stephen Smith is in second. Eugene McCune, father of Kevin McCune, the fast-throwing righty that we saw come of age last year.
Well, Eugene McCune is also the fast-throwing righty who said
pride of Munster, Indiana.
See?
How'd you like to grow up in Munster?
Munster, Indiana? Yeah, that's
great. Well, Rob would. Come on.
Like, are you Herman or
Or cheesy. Stupid.
I was going with the cheese too. Yeah, I wasn't even thinking of the Munsters. That's a good one, Johnny. I was thinking the town stinks.
You guys are on fire today, man.
In fourth, we got Tony Franklin. We got Charles Farrell in fifth. Michael Ritz in sixth. Rich Corwin in seventh. Rick Menely in eighth. Sean Horenberger in ninth. Gerald Vertigan in 10th. Scott Critchfield in 11th. And Michael Kennedy in 12th. I don't see Troy.
Bastard stole my Michael Candy.
Do we know if Troy's bowling this week? I haven't had a chance to talk to him yet. But,
neither have I. Chuck, do you have any information on that, or anybody else that's out there?
Chuck, Bo Buck, Banana Fana. Oh man, never mind.
He
said the patterns are soft. It's a strike fest. Well, that's good, actually.
Well, if they're in the South Point Plaza, that's kind of understandable. I mean, the Plaza, if you can get in the groove in that building, you will literally strike for days. That's where I averaged 272.5 for the Lucky 7 tournament.
Oh, you weren't just in a zone? I mean, I'm sure there's got to be some.
Dude, when you go 500 over for 7 games.
Hi, Roger.
I want you to think about.
Yeah, but you didn't win by 2. You know what I'm saying? Like, at least
no, but
you did.
When you win against a field like that and the closest guy to you is 100 behind you over 8 games, but yes. And then the guy behind him was 150 pins behind him at the end of it. So you had one other guy that bowled sensationally, and he was still 100 behind me. But there's a real big difference between being in a groove and being on a condition with the perfect ball.
Just everything suited for you.
Like, for instance, I guarantee the game's changing a little bit more so now, but there was a period of time for a pretty long time where when 800s were becoming more often than just like once every 8 or 9 months somebody bowls an 800 like it was in the 70s. Like I'm talking like from 90s to the present. If you asked 100 people when they bowled 800, how much did you move your feet throughout the course of the 3-game set?
A board, 2 boards.
9 out of 10 times they're going to tell you it's less than 2 boards with their feet. Now that may be different now because people go through a lot of different bowling balls. Even in one league session. I know I do it myself too. It's kind of the changing of the guard. But most people, when they lock into 800, they're they're virtually doing the same thing. They're just on like
repeating. You're repeating the same thing.
Exactly. And so when you don't have any additional things to worry about as far as what's going on with the lanes or the heads going away or what ball am I going to go to when this goes away, that building allows you to stay in the same spot a lot longer, including the right side of the lane. And it favors 2 kinds of games, people that either go dead up the lane or people that can completely circle the lane with soft ball speed. So whatever patterns are out there, I'm sure both the senior guys and the regular touring players are going to maul them over in that building. Thanks, Steph.
That's badass.
Hey, Steph. What's going on?
Good. I don't know necessarily what that means. Maybe the regional, maybe he has too high credentials or something.
That's a good point. Maybe he does.
Well, good. That means, an athlete like myself can get in, given my status. And, I just bowled, over a 600 series finally.
Ray, what's going on? He's part of the Fired Up Sports Network.
Ray strikes a lot.
Hello, Ray.
He played inside of that on the cleaners, I remember.
Just give Ray an Ultimate Inferno up 10.
Gary Boudreaux and the Ultimate Inferno. My God. Didn't Ray bowl with Gary Boudreaux?
Oh, yeah. He's another Ultimate Inferno.
I saw him recently, a couple of years ago, and I wasn't paying attention. And he's like, dude, what's going on? And I was like, hey,
man.
And he was like, it's Gary Boudreaux. And I was like, oh, my God. The guy you kicked everybody's ass for freaking years on the Cleaners League. And I mean, kicked everybody's ass, just piping it forward roll. Well, was he a little more Earl Anthony, kind of almost like he just up the gut? I don't remember.
Boudreaux?
Yeah.
Boudreaux could hook the whole lane.
Well, he didn't have to because he always struck from.
He had a very, very strong but gentle wrist.
Maybe that's what it was. I also knew nothing about bowling when he bowled, so that's the other thing.
Chad says, wonder what would happen at trials today if USBC took on same rule for urethane as the PBA did. Lots of purples were bending lanes today.
Yeah, I mean, again, it's going to be a different world with the lane breakdown at the professional level as compared to everything else. But again, it's We're going to see when it happens. And of course, they would have broken down differently. If you take that element out of play, which is the most altering variable that we actually have in the game, is the consumption or the movement of oil from the urethane play, and especially from multiple angles, multiple speeds, multiple surface changes on those urethane balls. The integrity of the oil pattern itself is completely, there is no integrity in the oil pattern anymore. So once you take that away, you'll see lanes not be blended as quickly. I would assume you won't see the heads go as quick. You won't see mega crazy tightening down lane. But again, so yes, my answer to what Chad just said is yes, it would absolutely have changed the pace. I don't know how much it would have changed the score, but it would have changed the lane play itself for the block. And we all know, as the tournament progresses, the further you get into the tournament, the lanes already typically tighten up down lane more and more. So keeping that in mind in a place like the South Point Plaza, which is already known for having very, very tight back ends and getting tighter as the day goes on, it could make for an interesting back half of the tournament. So there's a lot of games left, though. I think they have two more 6 games, two more 6-game blocks. You guys have, Chad. You can throw that in there if you want. You can check out the schedule. We got it's all over bowl.com. But yeah, if you have that info here, send it in the chat.
Can I ask you a stupid question, Johnny, regarding the Team USA trials?
There's no stupid questions, Rob. Just stupid
people.
Hosts.
That's true. I thought the teams were already picked. Are these for like alternate slots or what's? I don't even know how the whole system works.
For what?
For Team USA. Yeah.
Oh, for Team USA, I don't really know either. I'm a good host. I know that there's I want to say maybe the top 6 in each division, and then I think there's a couple captains picks, if I'm not mistaken, which is based off their judgment or their belief of who the best additions to the team are. I know each day of competition they go on a points tally, and it's similar to golf, where you want the lower number because it's based off your finish each day. So on each different pattern, let's say like Brandon Bone, for example, because we know he's out there. There you go, 12 bowlers, top 4 taken on top amateur, and then by committee. There, thanks, Chad. But like, for instance, if Brandon Bone goes out there and on the 5 qualifying days or the 4 qualifying days, he goes out and he finishes 1st, 3rd, 5th, 8th, he acquires only the points for the place that he finished. So his number's around 10 or 11.
Gotcha.
So usually if you say keep it under 40 points over the course of the tournament, you're usually in contention, at least to the best of my knowledge of what I've seen and observed when we had Team USA trials at Sunset when I had my store there with Bowler's Mart.
Okay. All right. Good deal. I wasn't sure about that. Thank you, everyone, for giving us information. I didn't know if Chad was going to get it first or Steph was going to get it first. They're always right on the ball there. Dan Young pulling for Galinsky.
And we will pull for Galinsky as well.
I
saw that Jake Peters was having had a good first day. I think he was sitting in 2nd place behind another good friend of mine, Deron Booker. So it'd be really nice to see those 2 guys, especially. I mean, Deron doesn't live in Vegas, but he's certainly close enough to Vegas because he's always out there for at least the bigger tournaments. But obviously, Jake Peters, living right outside of Vegas and Henderson, who doesn't love Jake Peters? So really like to see him have a couple more strong days and wear the red, white, and blue. That'd be awesome.
Guys and girls, and whatever you identify as, I will have the poll for Imbecile of the Year up next week with the sickness and all that. I just didn't feel like doing anything, so we're gonna.
Is it possible that Don King ripped off the Brunswick logo? By the way, I'm just saying, like,
I don't know.
Shouldn't we do like some? I bet you there's some defamation or.
They're missing that. They're. Okay.
I know it's
backwards for one,
but it's still. I'm sure there's still some copyright discrepancies. So I think
we've only got 3. We've only got 3 rounds.
It doesn't matter. He can't count.
It doesn't matter.
Well, we know Chris Jericho ripped off Ocho's name, so there's
who doesn't?
That. Yeah,
has been indie fed hack.
AEW has been ripping off the grapplers for 5 years now,
with proof. With proof.
You had the
Look
Dark
at Romance. We had the episode.
Yep.
It's proved.
The Dark Order was copying you guys, and now
stole our numbers, stole our physiques.
Chris Jericho is literally calling himself the Ocho now, which is
I mean, he can't say doctor because he's just an indie fed has-been.
That's true. He's not a doctor. You guys, I'm glad you guys actually acknowledge that. It's not time for the imbecile of the week yet, but I just want to throw that out there. Although we're gonna have a good one, Johnny, because you're gonna get fired up over this one. It's about you, so I can't wait to unveil that at the end of the show.
It's about
It's literally about you. Yeah.
is it gonna get me fired up like Fired Up Sports?
Oh, I get it. Man, this guy is a marketing genius. Fucking A.
We're on fire tonight. Not literally.
That's
not
your
like,
temperature, Rob. You're
not like
still
Michael
fine.
Jackson caught his hair on
That's
fire.
your cholesterol.
Getting back to league night, Johnny, you bowl several leagues. How are you bowling lately?
Not really good. I mean, actually, I've been bowling fine. I'm bowling with a lot more confidence since my good finish at Mike's tournament. But last night, I'd like to shit on Bowlero for a little while for last night.
Before you do get on that,
Oh, check out this from Kinder Dip. Oh man, what a great. Sorry.
hello, sorry for bothering you. I want to offer promotion of your channel viewers, followers, views, chatbots, etc. The price is lower than any competitor. The quality is guaranteed to be the best, flexible and convenient order management panel, chat panel, everything in your hands. Turn it on and off. Go to stream. Yeah, fuck this guy.
Now, why would we do that if they're going to pay us less than everybody else?
I'm also simulcasting on my Twitch channel, and
the price is lower than any competitor. You're not going to pay us lower. That's absurd.
Can I block these? No, I can't.
Anyway, get back to the.
Johnny.
Jumped in too. That's on me.
Yeah, no, it's all your fault, Itch. Go ahead, Johnny. You want to rip on Bowlero as we did last week? What do you? What new info do you have?
Bowlero.
I'm the most patient person in the world.
Are you really?
Really, really, really am. You really have to be a real piece of shit to get me worked up.
I've seen it.
Like nothing bothers me at all.
Super chill.
I give everybody the benefit of the doubt all the time, almost to a fault. Last night at League at good old Brunswick Zone Carolier, which
do I need to put up the alert or?
No, it's nothing like that. I'm gonna vent. Okay. Because I never vent, I feel like venting.
That's good.
So I'm gonna vent.
I'm looking forward to it.
I'm on 39 and 40 at Brunswick Zone Carolier.
No. The 39th and 40th. Yeah.
I'm full of the 39th and 40th lanes with Bowlero, North Brunswick. On Carolier Lane.
Sorry,
go ahead, John.
No, it's good. It's good. You done?
No. Okay, I'm done.
So every single time you get up on lane 39, when you shoot a spare, it marks that you missed it. So the menu button on the left lane of the scoring table doesn't work. So you have to wait until your screen flips to the other lane so you could change the score to fix it. But you can't change the score on the right lane, on the 40th lane, because the menu button or the other button doesn't work on that scoring table.
Oh, Jesus.
So hence you either have to.
Can you not even shoot your fill ball yet then either? Oh no, you did shoot
that
your fill ball, but you
that was the other problem. So I go up to the desk and say to them, can you send somebody down to maybe look at the scoring table? And they're like, we don't have anybody, but we can fix the score for you up here. Now, the desk at Carolier is on like 15 and 16. So it's a short enough walk, but it's a fucking annoying walk when you're bowling a doubles league. And I have to go up and I have to tell them to switch the arrows and fix this in, do that. And then sure enough, we get up in the 10th frame and leave a 7-pin. And my leadoff misses the 7-pin in the 10th. So now I'm staring at her 7-pin and it's on my name. And I can't... Anyway, long story short, I think I may have said that backwards. Oh, yeah. I'm sorry. She had made the spare, and it marked her that she had missed it. So I couldn't even go back and erase the missed spare to turn it to a regular spare so she could throw her fill ball.
Was it on the 39th lane or the 40th lane?
The 40th.
Oh, Christ.
So I go back up to the desk, and I said, so now I need the arrows back on her name, and I need this set back up. And next thing you know, after like the 4th trip, so basically you're not going to send anybody. No, we don't have anybody. Can you move us? No, there's no lanes to put you anywhere because there's parties on the low end and the entire downstairs is
You
already
have to yell every score out and be like, 9th spare, 9th frame.
And then it got to a point that
150
now we're sitting
lanes.
there having to keep score by hand, and I'm just sitting here saying, "This is It's again. I'll look at the business side of it, but from the bowler standpoint, bowling in a center like that, it's just not fucking fun anymore. You are just completely when you treat your customers like they are completely worthless to your livelihood, which maybe we are at this point with Bowlero's future system or whatever they got going on. But either way, it's ugly to be a bowler in their fucking bowling centers, and I can't stand it.
I mean, it's the first true test of it, really. Like, this is the first true thing where you're figuring it out. So that's a good point.
Literally don't have any porter.
Real quick, and then I'll be done. Going back to what Ricky wrote, I'm not drinking anymore, so I actually don't know the prices of the bar now. But when I was, you definitely don't go to a Bowlero if you want to get even buzzed, because you're gonna have to bring a half a paycheck there to do it.
I just can't believe they don't have any porters there at all that can just run in back or any mechanics that can anybody that can do anything with the center that large.
Yeah, you got one of my good longtime friends, Nicole, is the bartender downstairs at Carolier, and she's also the bartender. Thankfully, she's so good at what she does. She's her league bowlers are so loyal to her that they understand that it's just her, but she tends the bar, she takes the food orders, and she runs out and waitresses and delivers the drinks and the food. I mean, I can't even imagine how hard the kid has to work while she's there, because it's entire bowling alley, you're handling everybody by yourself.
It's not like the alley isn't full. Like, that's the thing. So that's not like you can't accommodate, what is it, 80 lanes or something like that they got? How many do they have?
82.
I was way off. Knew it started with an E. But no, seriously, that's like you're setting yourself up for failure, because not having somebody to just at least prepare the scoring. I mean, there's no way you're going to go without a glitch, and to not have the staff to even do it is a pretty big kick to the nuts. When any bowling alley, any 30-lane bowling alley is at least staffed for the most part for mechanics, the bar, the scoring, from what I know. But
I know mechanics.
That's our first true indication of what Bowlero might be doing then.
I know mechanics are very short-lived right now. There's not many left. There's a lot. I mean, again, which is why they're going to string pins, because they don't want to employ any mechanics because there's no need for them.
Again, dude, their whole business model, their whole emphasis on their business model has nothing to do with what we know bowling as.
Right.
And like we'll bitch about this all day, but I guess the truth of the matter is, Bowlero, according to their stocks, is not doing horribly.
No, they're not.
If anything, they're actually doing okay. And
they were up last week. I know that.
Through some employees that I've actually spoken to, they do. I know Carolier does quite a business. I know me as an outsider, from my perspective, I'm like, I see this massive Redemption arcade and I never see anybody in it. I see overpriced bowling lanes and overpriced shoes, but the bowling alley's never full. But I do see a lot of corporate parties.
Right.
I do see a full house of leagues downstairs 5 nights a week. I do see an operating pro shop. I mean, but again, it's all the little nitpicky things that, as bowlers, we're just used to it a little bit differently. But all in all, it caters to a agenda completely offline with the way a bowler perceives a bowling center should be.
Maybe this is the start of what we're looking for. Like we said, hey, maybe they're onto something. Maybe they have this wonderful idea that it'll be presented over the next 5 years, but maybe this is the start of their idea, and it's like, well, screw the lower guy once again and market them out, because maybe they know people. They'll still get their corporate parties. I don't know, man. Or again, it's just a write-off for some rich dude that is already sitting in his CEO spot, and he's like, if this takes a loss, we pay no taxes. And I'll be damned, I'll guarantee there's a few of those bowling alleys that are going to be tax write-offs. Just as simple.
As was mentioned last week by, I forgot who it was in our chat, that they have sold off a lot of property recently. So, it is an investment for them. I don't necessarily think they're that invested in bowling, which, again, to me, they shouldn't own the PBA if they're not going to do anything to promote it or grow it or build it. But that's just
you guys
my
remember when
opinion.
all those MMA promotions came out, like Elite XC, and they had all these investors, and then like they just dropped off the earth, and the
Yeah.
UFC absolved them or something? Like it's kind of like that. Like you had millions and millions of dollars, and they put on 2 events, and one guy wouldn't make weight, and then all of a sudden the whole promotion is shut down. It's a bunch of rich people playing like, hey, let's have a game of Monopoly, but it's real money and it's not ours, but it's theirs. And
again, with a name like
we can do whatever we want.
With a name like Bowlero, you think they'd be invested in bowling, but they just should change their name to We Don't Bowlero, or We Don't Care About Bowlero, or whatever.
We don't care.
We don't care. I like that. That's
Team
with the center with as much rich history as Carolier.
They have no clue what the history is there. That's the
no
other
fucking
issue.
clue, yeah, or they don't care, honestly, which is sad. Where else do you bowl, Johnny? Is it strictly Carolier?
No, I bowl at Howell Lanes on Monday nights. I bowl at Chaco's up in Scranton on Friday nights. And then, whatever tournament Eric and Steph are running or involved with Sammy V or anything up here that I could possibly bowl, I usually just ask Eric and Steph or just go with them.
Next fall, could we possibly see you and the Dr. Ocho join up on Thursday nights at Howell Lanes?
No.
Why not?
It conflicts with my schedule. And unless something entirely different happens, then
Ocho shook his head no. Why? I like to hear this, Ocho.
We don't like each other.
Because it conflicts with his schedule. That's why Wednesdays were good.
Yeah, okay. All right. I just thought
you put this podcast together, and now here we are.
I thought it'd be epic to see you guys bowl together.
You would never see us bowl together. We'd be bowling. You ain't gonna call. You'll have a freaking hangnail or something like that. You'll promise everybody you're gonna show up, and then you'll web. Oh, guess what happened? I got my finger caught in the freaking mayonnaise jar.
That's dirty. True, but that's dirty.
Mine happens all the time too. The blue cheese and the mayonnaise jar are always bad.
It's time for everybody's favorite segment.
If you guys don't know how to use a seatbelt, just ring your call button, and Tommy will come back there and hit you on the head with a tack hammer.
You know, Lloyd, just when I think you couldn't possibly be any dumber.
Here's the Imbecile of the Week.
Some people are really stupid.
Before we get to the Imbecile of the Week, and this week's Imbecile of the Week comes from the comments on our YouTube channel. If you guys here on Facebook are not subscribed to our YouTube channel, what the fuck? Like, we literally been doing it for like a year and a half now. It is Straight Up 5 podcast on YouTube, which we are we got just about as many people watching on YouTube right now as we do Johnny's Facebook page. So that's good. Thank you, everybody. But before we get into this jackass here, I should just call him the Jackass of the Week because it's really more accurate to describe the fuckhead we got tonight. But let's go through some of the comments, Mr. Ocho. I'm sorry, Dr. Mr. Ocho.
There's no Mr.
DK Knees? Anyway, he's has a lot of comments.
It's called Dick Nose.
Dick Nose writes. He has a lot of comments. So I just want to shout him out. These are one of our few loyal viewers here on YouTube.
Well, thank you, Dick Nose, for watching us and commenting.
Thank you very much, Dick Nose. I live about 50 miles south of Chicago. We have lost a shitload of houses, different than a shit ton. I don't know the exact number where I bowl leagues. The owner's a businessman. He doesn't even bowl. And he also had a little bit of criticism, Johnny, about using the Lord's name in vain. But, we've had that from somebody else on the channel as well. So
depending on who your Lord is. So
that's true. He also commented, someone needs to produce a John Mazza movie. I know Hollywood would most likely do it. He had some fantastic stories. I can't argue with that one. Hit the flippin' rosin, which I don't know what that means.
Hold on, is he the only one that's commenting, or are you screenshotting
Literally,
his comments?
He's like one of the 3 people that comment.
All right, I was like, man, that sucks that he's just. Oh, damn it! I was hoping to see like a few people extra, but like,
I do like this advice here. If your opponent ticks you off, lung punch the bastard. That's actually sound advice. I do condone doing that. No, I'm sorry. Here's another great topic. If you had kids, who would you recommend them to emulate? Ocho, you can kind of answer that one.
Me. In everything. You kidding me?
That's fair. That's fair. He says, yes, Simo is a beast, but how long can his back, left hip, and knee withstand his style? He gets so low to the line, it hurts my back watching him. Me personally, I love to throw it like Chris Prather. My favorite golfer, wow, he's really just touching on everything. My favorite golfer to watch was Freddie Couples. Even to this day, both looked so effortless.
Smoothest swing ever. God dang it. Smoothest swing ever. And can murder the ball. Oh, boy.
Wriggles said, I hope your back is doing better, Johnny. That was 5 days ago. Thanks, Riggs. How is your back, Jonathan?
Good. I'm still waiting to find. Is there an imbecile here somewhere?
Oh, yes.
Yeah, that's what I was waiting for.
I'm just shouting out our one super fan that we have here that comments on all of our videos.
Dick knows.
Got a lot of good comments. I've never even seen him before.
Riggs says, Johnny, I want you to bowl on certifiable string pin setters and tell us what you'd find. I know you will tell it like you see it. Do a video while you bowl. I think he still thinks you're in Vegas, which obviously you're not. He said from Vegas, you only have to drive a ways to Cedar City, Utah.
Well, what I'll do is I'll find out if the string pinner set at string pin setter lane at Rev Rates in Howell is certified, because if it is, I could always take a video from there.
That's a good point, and I think they've had it for quite a while. So I'm just going to throw it out there on a hunch.
I'll find out what the closest one is.
Okay.
I would happily do that.
Dick No says, I never used the big red wiffle bat. I love that game. I threw a nasty knuckleball, slider, and curveball. Okay.
Christ.
That's
Christ.
good stuff here. Last one from him. I'm lost. Who is Dr. Ocho? And why does he always wear a mask?
Don't worry about it. I'm the guy that has these that you don't. I'm not even in frame.
Okay, that's the imbecile week. I don't want to throw him up there yet. I think I duplicated that one. Oh, he had some actually. Dick knows.
Yeah, he's just a nice guy, but he don't have these. And our show starts in 18 seconds, boys.
He
can't wait. Can't wait.
Apparently, he's got some audio advice for you, Ocho. This is on the John Mazza. This is on the Bob Learn show. He loved it. But he thinks we should ask more simple, to the point questions. I don't think we actually ask anything convoluted, but yeah, I don't know. Thanks, bro. And Ocho, you need to get a microphone, or you need to take off the mask for the shows. Try to even out mic gain across the board. I have to keep adjusting the volume on my monitors. Are you guys hardwired through Cat 6 Ethernet or using Wi-Fi? Yeah, I know we had some trouble, Ocho, at your house with your signal going out, but seems to have corrected itself in the last few weeks. You don't have that problem anymore, so I'm wondering.
It was one time, maybe twice times.
It was a couple weeks.
It was on lane 13th and 14th.
All right, Johnny, are you ready for the imbecile of the week?
Oh, we didn't get there yet? He's muted.
Yeah, he's
all right. I don't blame him.
I'm so confused on what just happened, but yeah.
Nothing.
I was just shouting out some of the comments from our.
Thank you, Dick Nose.
Our viewers. Thank you, Dick Nose, for all your comments.
There was so much good shit there. I mean, I'd like to actually answer some of his questions.
We can if you want to.
Well, let's do it next time.
6 to 8 minutes.
In that whole 7 minutes there, I'm like, where's the imbecile?
Okay.
Yeah, you did the intro and everything.
That's because you stepped aside and you didn't hear what Ocho and I were discussing.
Oh, I stepped aside.
What was I discussing? I don't remember it either.
Okay.
So show us the imbecile. Come on.
Cripes.
Wow.
Cripes.
Wow. Okay. This week's Imbecile Week comes straight from our YouTube channel.
Dick Nose.
It is at Jeffrey Boring 4410. My dad would suck living under a shadow your whole life. I'd get tired of saying it.
Wait, my dad. Wait, what does it say? My dad, I would suck living under a shadow. What? I don't know. I think he's paying him a compliment, isn't he?
Yeah, it could be. I see why Rob thinks it could be condescending, but to me, it's not.
Well, God damn it! Now I got to pick somebody else.
No,
all right.
The guy is saying something self-deprecating, right? Like I would.
He's saying, hey, Jesus, every time somebody talks to you, Johnny, it's got to be, how's your dad? Your dad did this. Your dad did that.
Right.
Got to get fucking annoying after a while. And
If your dad was an asshole, but he's not. He's a great dude.
I guess the way I took it is you're always talking about your dad. Your dad, he's the fucking greatest. Well,
I don't think anybody knows. I don't think he does. I think people ask him about his dad, and that's what happens.
Yeah, typically it's usually one of certainly in the bowling world, but I expect that. I mean, why would it be, Denny?
Show starts in 48 seconds, by the way. Can't wait.
And to be quite honest, I don't mind living under the shadow of a world famous professional bowler. It's kind of cool. So, something not a lot of people get to experience.
I guess I'm off my game.
Who chopped up my freaking nachos with his fist, by the way. Let's get that in there.
He did. Well, we can go back and make that other asshole that commented earlier who was...
No, it's good.
Nobody was an asshole.
No, this guy here.
Oh, well, we don't know who Kindergarten Cop is, so let's just leave him out of it.
To me, Doc Sullivan's still a fucking asshole. So, I mean...
right on.
I like Jim Rogers' idea of bowling a match on the string pins. Maybe we'll do that for one show one day.
Well, I apologize for a shitty imbecile of the week. That's my
That's okay. We don't have, you know what? Maybe it's our New Year's resolution. We don't want to shit on anybody.
Oh no, I do.
Just this week.
No, I'm actually
no.
Like I said, I can see how people can take that as like a negative comment there, but
I didn't get it.
It wasn't necessarily.
Chad Murphy's always a good choice.
Knows what Kinder TP is. It's toilet paper.
That's obvious, Dan. Chad Murphy's always that's too easy. It's low hanging fruit. We can't do that. Chad Murphy would be the imbecile of the week every week for the rest of his life, and probably even in the afterlife too. Like Doc Sullivan, cocksucker. You got anything else, guys? Because I want to go to bed.
No, man, you go right ahead to bed. Again, a very happy New Year to everybody. I hope you enjoyed 2024. Hope it's a good year for you.
I'm sure we'll have more important things to talk about next week.
I successfully made it through the Facebook scrolling of seeing 800 people say, as this year comes to a close, I just want to make sure that I get a couple things off my chest as I jump into 2024. And oh God, I literally just, that was my resolution for the year. Get past all of the, I'm jumping into 2024 to set these goals. Go fuck yourself. I've been trying to achieve goals.
I'm going to take care of me from here on out.
Keep moving forward. I go to the gym every day of my goddamn life. I don't need to go there on fucking January 1st. I don't need to. I am going into this year with a clear head. Just get the fuck out of here. Go be grown up and be awesome.
New year, new me, says Scott. Yeah, that's what everybody does do.
The guy who just wrote Brad Miller Player of the Year, by the way, said New Year, new me. Just an FYI.
If Brad Miller is the Player of the Year this year, that means the Jets will be the Super Bowl champions next year.
Oh shit!
Too soon.
No, maybe not. Maybe not. Ron may come back. Who knows?
Speaking of which, what the fuck happened to the Eagles? They were dominant early, and they just seem to suck now.
They're just not.
Same
That's what they wanted. NFL is parity. That's what freaking Tagliabue wanted. I think even Pete Rozelle when Plan B free agency wanted parity.
We got Buffalo on fire, though. Haven't they won like their last 6 games to try to make the playoffs?
You know what's funny? So if the Steelers win and the Bills lose, the Steelers will go in. Now, Buffalo, if they get in, they could win the Super Bowl. Like there's no doubt about it. They could literally win. They could run the table because nobody in the AFC is even doing anything besides Baltimore. The Steelers
really that now with, like I know. I mean,
now with all-world quarterback Mason Rudolph, maybe they have a shot to at least
come close to the
wild card game.
Who do you guys want to see win the Super Bowl? That'll be, I would say, I'll be done after this. But who do you want to see win the Super Bowl?
I'll go
I gotta
first.
say Buffalo.
Oh well, yeah. I want to see Buffalo just for the fans, like because they've been doing enough shit, right? I mean, losing 3 in a row, 4 in a row. How many did they lose in that one time, Ouch?
They 4 straight.
4 straight.
They got freaking lost by a Scott Norwood field goal, 20-19 against the Giants. Then it was 37-24 when Thurman Thomas lost his freaking helmet. And then it was like 57 to something when Leon Lett Don Beebe whacked the ball out of Leon Lett's hand. And then it was 30-13 against Dallas again. Although they were up 13-10 at the half, but then Dallas came on, and that was when Troy Aikman doesn't have any recollection of the game because he got banged up against the 49ers the week before. Fact check me. I know I'm right about 20-19. I know I'm right about 24. 57 to 20-21, something like that. And then it was definitely 30-13. I might be wrong about the last one also. I think 30-13.
Is Lamar Jackson really that good? Like, I know he had 5 touchdowns this last week, but I mean, and he's not a bad player.
He doesn't win big games.
He doesn't.
I'll
That's what I'm
fact
saying.
check. God damn it.
He doesn't win the big games. On the NFC side, I'm looking for San Fran. I want to see Brock Purdy go all the way. I really do. I think.
You're giving me two answers. Very nice.
Yeah. What about you, Johnny?
I want to see the Browns.
Joe Flacco's a good story right now.
I'd like to see the Browns make it to their first Super Bowl and win it.
That would
Joe
be cool.
52-17. All right, so I got
But
20
think
to
the
19.
Ravens are scary right now.
Who? I'm sorry.
They're peaking.
The Ravens are scary.
Yeah.
No, I mean, they're scary at the right time.
Like Miami had something to play for, and for home field, and the Ravens just friggin'
trounced them.
I think I'd also like to see the Jaguars. I like Trevor Lawrence. I think he's cool.
I like him too. I like
with
him
his
too.
flowing locks. Yeah, the problem is if the Steelers win and the Jags win, that knocks the Steelers out. So we need the Jags to lose just in order so Buffalo can get in.
I think we all can agree the Cowboys aren't going to make it past the first round. So
they do. They
the
same thing. They'll do clock management
Cowboys
stuff.
lose like 63-3 in the first round.
They actually, they might have to buy this year, depending on it. I think they right. Ocho, since they won.
No, well, they're in first place now.
Yeah.
I think.
No, they are.
Yes,
The Eagles...
they have a better division record, and they split with Philly.
Right. So
they both got.
Well, they 11-6.
Did Philly beat San Fran or vice versa? Because San Fran crushed Dallas.
You know what? I don't know. That's
actually, you know what? It's probably going to be division. It's first head to head, then division. Anyway, and Dallas. Okay, so 20-19, they lost to the Giants.
I fucked
37-24, lost to the Redskins. The Thurman Thomas game, got that right. I got the 52 right. I didn't get. It was 52-17.
San Fran beat Philly. Okay, thanks, Mike.
So there you go. 52-17 was the game where Leon had the right to the end zone and Don Beebe. And then I was right again, 30-13.
Your brain
silly me being right.
Something's wrong with you, bro.
Got to root for the Lions too, right?
Dude, they got screwed again. Like they get every.
They did get screwed.
They got screwed again.
No, they did. They did. No,
they totally did. They totally did.
The right guy reported eligible, and they
and then the other guy said, "I'm not eligible," just to clarify, which threw the ref off and said, "Okay." It's like when Jerome Bettis called tails and Phil Luckett said heads. He said heads. That was 1998.
Yeah.
Of course I remember. It was Thanksgiving Day. It was 16-all, and they lost 19-16. The Charlie Batch and the Lions, who became Steeler backup Charlie Batch.
That might be the very reason why they call heads or tails first.
They have to do it before it lands. You bet your big, meaty, bacteria-ridden ass.
That's true. Yeah, you're right about the Lions, Johnny. I would actually, but goddamn, another fan base, right, that has sat through so much shit over the years, like the Browns.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh, I get it. Don BB. Yeah, you see that? What Dave wrote? It's kind of clever. No.
Yes.
It's clever.
Have some.
Now.
Yes, have some. Are we done, Rob? Jesus Christ.
I'm just previewing the final.
Liberty.
Dude, Bills and Dolphins are going to be huge.
Doesn't even have a mustache.
Bills and Dolphins are going to be, that's a huge game to watch this weekend.
I mean, Miami, look, all right, so here's what it is for Miami. They're in anyway.
No, they
could be the 2 seed or the 5 seed. Right. I guess that is a big difference. And Miami being a warm weather team, they probably, and now Tyreek Hill's house is pretty warm. Oh, that's bad.
Yeah.
That's terrible. Why would I do that?
I don't know.
Do you want to explain it then? At least the joke? It's terrible.
No, I don't know.
Okay, I'll let you guys look it up. No, because Miami's known for, like Miami, Tampa, they're known for like going into cold weather areas and not playing well.
Correct.
So if Miami's the 5th seed, they may have to travel to Baltimore or to, I can't think of anybody else. Who's in the Kansas City-ish?
So if Buffalo wins, they're what, 11-6?
10 and yes.
And they'll win the division.
No, wait. Buffalo would lose. Oh, yeah, that's right. They'd be 10. They'd be 11-6.
11-6, and they'd get the division if they win.
Yes.
Which is fucked up because
or they could be out if Pittsburgh wins.
Or they could be out if Pittsburgh wins,
and if the Steelers played the Bills 20 times in a row, they'd win 0 out of 20. The Steelers, that is.
You might be right. You may be right.
Except with Mason Rudolph, all-world quarterback,
Mason Rudolph.
Joe, who would you like to see win the Super Bowl this year?
You, Rob, because I feel like maybe you'll get some antibiotics. I already said the Bills.
Did you say the Bills? I'm sorry. Okay.
I picked the Browns.
You guys don't want to pick anybody for the NFC just for shits and giggles?
You said, who do you want to win the Super Bowl? You can't pick 2 teams to win the Super Bowl.
I only picked 2 because you did.
I picked 2.
Laces out.
Hi, Ray Finkel, please. And a clean pair of shorts.
You know, that movie wouldn't even be able to that wouldn't even be able to play today just because of the ending of the movie. People
Captain
are
Winky is still no. Captain Winky is pure comedy gold.
It is comedy gold, but I don't know how well that would play nowadays. Dude, they were way ahead of the time there with the trans movement and all that. I'm just saying, was it 1991 or something like that?
Something like that.
Ray Finkel.
Finkel and Einhorn. Einhorn and Finkel.
I think we can all agree we don't want Dallas to win. I don't think
They're not going to. They'll never win with Dak Prescott. I'm just saying.
No, they'll never win. Period. As long as Jerry Jones.
And he's going to win MVP though.
Jersey.
What's that?
I think the next time I see Jacob Butler, I'm going to steal his Cowboys jersey. I'm going to permanently comment.
I don't know why. I just pictured him in a Ray Finkel jersey, and it worked perfectly. I seriously think we got to get him a Ray Finkel jersey, courtesy of Straight Up 5 podcast. Get to the art department. Somebody will start forming it. We'll figure this out.
All
right. I'm done filibustering. Johnny Ocho, great meteoric. Yeah, I can't even talk.
Yeah, meteoric show is what you're thinking.
Meteoric show. We're 2 episodes away from 100, guys. Are you guys excited?
You betcha. Look at me.
Have we nailed down who's going to be on the show yet, Johnny?
I've been nailing things for years.
Okay. Ocho, really?
Yes.
Have some.
That's good. My brain is fried.
Lori,
I don't even know how to end the show at this point.
I got an idea. Say my Twitter and then hang up.
It's not even Twitter anymore. It's literally right there. Look at the bottom screen. Look at the bottom screen. Look at the bottom screen. It's literally going right across the screen, right down there. No, John.
Why do you have a capital D and a capital R? Mine is lowercase r.
Is it really?
Capital O. Jesus, you don't even have my shit right.
Yeah, it looks like Derocho.
Yeah, I'm not Drocho.
Drocho. Hey, there's Evelyn.
Yep, she came to say hi.
That's such a cute dog.
She was like, what the hell are you still doing here? All right, seriously, Rob, this is absurd.
My wife had 2 brown Datsuns growing up.
Oh, my God. Mine had a Nissan. Jesus.
Jesus Christ. All right, guys. Thank you, everybody, for joining us this week here on Straight Up 5. I'm pretty sure we'll be back next week talking about who knows what. And it's still going to be a good show because, well, we're the best. And you're not.
Around.
I have that here somewhere, actually.
No, you don't. You lost it.
No,
shit.
No, whatever.
Nice. Good for Johnny.
Good night, everybody. Fuck you, Doc Sullivan.
Good night.